Big Boys Neighborhood, we are after the show. After the show, August 22nd, 2018, man. It's a hell of a full show today, man. Travis Scott and Nicki Minaj, where Nicki Minaj went at Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She does her Queen radio show, and she was giving out awards, and she gave him the I don't even want to say it, but it was the Garden Tool Ninja Award. Yeah. You wanna hear it? Of course I do.
Ho of the week, of course, is Travis Scott. Travis Scott on Thursday, when he realized the Queen was about to have the #1 album in America, he and his label decided to have Kylie and baby Stormy put up a tour pass. He had her go and post and say, "Hey, me and Stormy can't wait to see y'all." How are you selling something that does not have anything to do with your album, but it's being counted on Billboard as album sales? But what we not gonna do is have this auto-tune man coming up here selling sweaters and telling y'all he sold 500,000 albums, because he didn't.
Auto-tune man.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Burning bridges.
Yeah, and you know what she need to do, man? She need to stop holding back. You know what I'm saying? Like, for one, I don't know who she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's, if you're going to say something, Nicki, say the name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, say, let me ask you this. Would it be different if this was not Nicki Minaj and it was a guy saying he was done wrong and he was upset? If it was 50 Cent going after somebody, if it was Kanye and is it different because it's Nicki Minaj? Is it different because it's female? Is it different because of the climate? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I feel like, I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like if this was another dude saying this, we might just be calling him petty and maybe would disregard it and not put as much thought into it because it's Nicki.
Like, it was like with 50, when 50 go, we're always like, 50 Cent at it again. Or did he do it so many times that it's okay?
I think he does it so many times that now we find it more entertaining than anything else.
Right.
We just go, we chuckle at it.
Right.
She's like reaching for it, though. She's like reaching for like, okay, well, this and Kylie and Stormy, and they did a pass.
Right.
Like,
paint a pretty
picture. Man, like, you're looking into it too much. And if it is true, if Billboard does count that stuff, guess what? It's called the promotional team. If you got the biggest promotional team right behind you, next to you, like, use it.
Or if you have a real issue with it, be mad at Billboard. Don't be mad at Travis, because Travis knows how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like when people get mad maybe at Tom Brady for having the money to have better trainers or something.
Yeah. Use what you got to get what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's marketing.
It
is. If I can go to Kylie Jenner and say, hey, can you put up something about the show? I would definitely do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't have her number.
The crazy thing, too, is I didn't even think about this. When she did her first episode of Queen Radio, when she premiered it, the Kardashians were there.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Wasn't Kim there or something?
Yeah, Kim was there. And I think Kylie was there, too, because it was like just before Kylie's 21st birthday. So I think they did Queen Radio first and then went to go out and celebrate.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but I'm going to go back and try to check these photos. But I'm pretty sure or some Kardashian / Jenner sisters were at Queen Radio.
Even the way Nicki made Kylie sound, Stormy.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Hell yeah. Don't let her write a verse about somebody. You know what I'm saying? You lucky she don't write a verse first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nicki write a verse first, it's going to be a problem.
And then Drake bringing out Travis Scott out in a...
Yeah, I wonder what that was like for her.
I wonder if she hit up Drake like what
are
you doing?
Like, man, I'm in the trenches, homie.
Yeah. You're supposed to
what
be
are you
on my
doing?
side.
You know what I'm saying? I had you when it was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also, man, just away from that, man. I don't want to get caught up in too much of that, man, because yesterday, as we were talking today after the show, we were at a red light, man, and the impact of a car hitting us from behind at, they say, between 40 and 50 miles per hour, while we were dead stopped. And it was a drunk driver that hit me and my buddy Jose. And it was crazy because when we got out to check on him, no matter how foggy we were, at first we thought it was a lady. And we were like, man, Jose was like, she's not getting out the car. We got to go check on her. So we get out the car, and as I'm walking up, I see that it's a guy.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't change anything, but I was like, okay, you know what? I started saying, man, this motherfucker was texting. He had to be texting because there's no way in the world
You
that
would've
you
missed
could
that.
hit us like that and you were paying a piece of attention. So when we get over to him, I don't know who opened up the door. I don't know if he opened up the door. I don't know how the door got open. We look in the car and my man is like moving around like, and so I'm thinking, first off, you know, the airbag deployed.
Yeah.
Is it deployed?
Yeah.
The airbag bag deployed. And I wasn't asking you, Louis. You know, I'm scared of you. And so I'm thinking, you know, they say with that, sometimes that'll break your nose, do certain things, you know.
Could burn you.
It saves your
yeah.
life. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And so I'm thinking that maybe, you know, the airbag, he had a problem with that and it dazed him. Then as I remember, it was like Jose and another gentleman that had stopped. And at the same time, both of them said something of the same. Jose asked, have you been drinking? And the other guy said, are you intoxicated? And their words kind of went over each other, you know? And when we started to look at the dude, he was just, you know, and he
Out of it.
Yeah. And then my man, if you go on TMZ or on @BigBoy on Instagram, my man he opened up the bottle and started drinking vodka right there in the seat. But just goes on and on, man, how this dude got out the car. The police had to hold him up. His pants was falling down. He kept falling to the ground. Like, I couldn't write this. But the one thing that God did right is that, you know, we're banged up, but there was a school right there. There's families there. He wasn't going to make it to any driveway.
No.
Not
Hell
in the
no, man.
condition that he
There's
was
no
in.
way.
He had to hit something. And if God put us in the position to hit us, then we'll take that impact. As you see, next day, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been in pain before. I know how to get through pain. You know what I'm saying? My buddy Jose, he took the steering wheel to the chest, so he's a little bit messed up because I knew he was gonna be bad because his pain was instant. Mine started to creep on. I got the X-rays, so everything is cool. We just got to heal up. But the one thing you do learn from that, no matter what you think you know, how humble you are, you know, life isn't guaranteed. That's another layer, another stamp of understanding.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I could not have went home to my family.
Yeah.
And that's what scared me the most was people die from these kind of things and other things. People die every day.
Yeah.
I don't know when my number is, you know, but it wasn't yesterday. And I'm so glad it wasn't, for the simple fact of we did this on the show, man, with like, at that moment, what goes through your head. And instantly I thought about my kids.
Yeah.
You know, even when they wanted to put me in the ambulance and everything, I knew my family was coming. And I didn't want my kids to see daddy laid out with a neck brace on, you know, because they got to stabilize you, put you on the flat board.
Yeah.
So I had my wife take me. You know what I'm saying? But the things that pop into your head,
I was
bro.
in like a couple of years ago, I was in a horrible accident with my friend Ryan, who passed away. Rest in peace, Ryan. And it was me and him in the car. And we were young, and we were out partying, and we knew we should. It was like a night where it was just probably one of the worst rain, thunderstorm nights of like the whole year. They've never seen rain like it was just crazy, crazy, crazy rain. And I remember we were leaving, and we were both in the car, and I don't know what happened. He accelerated. We hit a puddle. We hydroplaned. We hit the right side of a curve. Then we went up the curve. Then eventually we landed, and we hit a tree. And once we hit the tree on impact, everything, all the airbags deployed, the tree went through the windshield, and I'm sitting there looking at my friend Ryan, and I'm looking, I'm okay. I got burned from like airbags, and I'm looking at my friend Ryan, and I don't see any blood on Ryan. I don't see anything wrong with him. Nothing broken, nothing whatsoever. But he was
Ryan was the driver?
and he was the driver, and he was passed out like on his steering wheel. So after what happened, I'm trying to figure out, wake him up, trying to get a phone and call for help. I get off the car, trying to help for help. And then eventually I notice, I'm like, okay, he's not breathing. So I try to give him mouth to mouth, and I can't do that. God. So then eventually I get off the car and I wave down to like a tow truck driver. Tow truck driver comes help me out. He goes out and I was like, dude, my friend needs help. Can you just give him mouth to mouth or get, you know, he's not breathing. And eventually he's like, dude, your friend's dead. And that's the day where everything flashed like through, like I couldn't even tell you what I was thinking about. His family, my mom's, you know what I mean? My uncles, my cousins, just my life, just everything in general.
Who do you tell first? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're right there. Like, who gets the call? Like,
the first call, eventually, none of us had phones at the time. So we were just sitting there, and the cops said, do you have anybody who can call you? And the only number I knew was my friend Ralphie. And I remember Ralphie saying, always introducing Ryan as his cousin. So I was like, I'm going to have to call. his cousin and tell him, hey, Ryan passed away, and I'm sitting here, and as soon
you
as
still at the scene and
I'm
everything?
still at the scene, and I'm calling Ralphie, and Ralphie's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was like, dude, Ryan's dead. Like, just, I'm here. I'm going to be over here. They're going to take me to my aunt's house. That's the only place I knew where to go. And that's Ryan's dead. And he didn't understand. The second call was to my parents. They met me up at my mom's house. I was delirious. I don't think I've ever lost it like I lost it that day. Mm-hmm. Like, I would zone out. I would go crazy and cry and scream and yell. And then I would just stay stuck. And then it would stop again. But like you said, anything can kill you. What happened with him, it was blood force trauma. It was a simple head. It was a simple, it was the simple fact that he hit his head on the steering wheel. So like I'm telling you, there was no blood. There's nothing. Like that was, like even to this day, I'm like, dude, that was a car accident where we should have fucking broken bones or whatever, broken everything, but not pass away like that. And for me not to see any blood and just knowing that like all it takes is a hit to the head, a blow to the head from a steering wheel or in whatever accident you're in, regardless of how big or small it is. And that's what happened. And I couldn't believe it, bro. And to this day.
We were leaving the store, man, because all I wanted to do, I was like, man, I'm going to get to the house. I'm going to make me some fish tacos, and I'm going to do this and take a shower and relax.
Yeah, man.
And we don't get home early. You know what I'm saying? People think we get off air and like, oh, man, you guys are out of there. Like, no, it's long, very long days. So being that it was like 1 o'clock, we were like, oh, man, we getting home early. We get to do this. We get to do that. And then you start to think, and I don't think like this all the time, but you do think like, man, damn, because whatever was going to happen was already written. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, man, maybe we shouldn't have stopped and got a sample of that turkey. Maybe when he said, "Big, I'm going to go put the bags in the car," maybe I should have just walked with him instead of talking to the guy at the store. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you start thinking like that. Wow.
Yeah, and I don't bathe in that.
Yeah.
Where if I would have, could have, should have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't bathe in it at all, man. But it was our accident to have, and anything that goes on with somebody out there, it's your thing to have. It just wasn't my time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Jose's time. You know what I'm saying? And to the person that crashed into us, man, I'm gonna tell you, like when people look at TMZ or people look at Big Boy and see the footage and they like, man, your composure was so good. That was God, because at first, man, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. I went to beat the shit out of him because I thought he earned getting fucked up, and Jose stopped me and another guy. And I mean, they physically stopped me. And if I had been younger, I would have did I'm cool,
Oh, yeah.
and snuck him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But when I was cool. And that was even before he pulled the bottle out and started drinking. Like when he pulled the bottle out and started drinking, I thought it would have, even watching, I thought it would have brought it back up in me. But I was just like, forget it, so and TMZ was there, sheriffs were on their way.
So when you got in the car accident, the first impact, right? Both you guys get off to see what happened with him. The guy was still in the car, and then he got out of the car?
No, the only way he got out was when the sheriffs pulled him out and said, can you stand up?
My man was there and just stuck there, and then eventually grabbed the bottle and just started drinking.
He was sitting in the car drinking.
Get out of here.
Yeah, sitting in the car drinking, man.
Wow, that's someone's.
Have you seen the footage?
I've seen it, but that's someone. I thought he got out and then went back in the car.
Nah, man. Nah,
my man just stood there and
drink. And I guess he had did that bottle that day. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a big bottle. If you guys don't know what, it's a vodka bottle. It's 35% alcohol volume. If he really started that bottle like brand new, he drank 3/4 of that thing, dog.
Yeah,
that is
easy,
a lot of vodka, bro.
Yeah, he was towed back too, man.
Bam.
You know what I'm saying? He was a mess. And it's crazy because now he's all over TMZ too. I don't know what's his profession or whatever, but there's somebody looking like, hey man, that's Michael. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this guy has kids. Yeah. I don't know how much of an embarrassment he is to his family. You know what I'm saying? But I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make sure. I ain't no snitch, this, but I'm going to make sure that if he goes to court, I'm going to court. Mm-hmm. You try to take me away from my kids. Intentionally or unintentionally.
Yeah, man.
Your actions try to take me away from my family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to see to it that the same way they see to everything happening to us, I'm going to make sure that everything happens to him.
And he can never do it to someone again.
Legally. Because back in the days, I would have really fucking hurt that man. Really hurt him. You know what I'm saying? But I let go, let God, and I'll let the legal system get a hold of his ass. And I will be there. And I will make sure what he put Jose through and what Jose going through, What you put me and my kids looking at me like, is daddy okay? My wife
horrible.
checking on me and shit. Like, man, fuck him.
That's horrible.
I'm getting mad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting. Sorry about that. I'm starting to get upset.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We love you.
Fuck you! No, not you. I'm talking about somebody listening to this.
No.
I'm saying to Michael. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Michael the monster.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and get on out of
We
here,
outta
you guys.
here.
It's obvious somebody needs to go breathe.
Yeah.
Now, thank you guys for hanging
Thank
out with
you
us
guys
after the
so
show,
much.
man.
This is
Daniel
real life.
that records these and edit them. He just keep looking at me every time I curse. Like, dude, you know we can get flagged, right? All right. How passionate do you want to be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't lose your life, but do you want to lose your channel too? All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it afterwards, Big. All right. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day,
Yes.
man. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
guys.
listening to The Neighborhood.
Thank you.
All things Big Boy's Neighborhood is right there at RadioBigBoy.com. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your precious life.
Yeah.
We are Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood.
boy.